Namaskar. The subject of this video is Support System User Guide Part 2. This was the request of one of subscribers. Oh my god, I have such a bad character. Nobody doesn't like me. When you have urgent situation, whom is better to call? Yes, of course, call me anytime you need. Who would be more helpful in this situation? Your sleepy friend who doesn't understand even like what do you need me? To pay attention for your inner world, to build this inner support system. How? Working on that regularly, not once a week, not once a month, each single day. Oh my god! It's not a problem. You can do it. I am Anna Bobikova. Welcome back to my channel, AB Lifetime, channel about mental health. This video could be interesting for people who are currently organizing, working on their support system, for close ones to understand what is that support system and do I match to be in the support system or not, and for people who teach the groups about support system. Most of materials which I was able to find on internet on what people are suggesting, how to work with support groups, are about technically like how to write down the list of your support system if you know who is in the support system. But I didn't find like really good information about how to understand who could be very good, who could match for my support system. It looks like, yes, it's very easy to understand. Yes, this person would be good, like this person can help me to be happy. But we need to understand if you are at that moment, mostly early recovery, recently you worked out and you started to, you're going up after your depression, you know, you need to know, you need to learn and to have the knowledge. What is support system? How does it work? It's important to see the first part, to see the case, because we did the case and we already started to analyze the case, and this is continuation. You still can see, of course, this second part. First part will be here or below the video in the description box. This video is going to answer the questions: what is support system? What is it for? Not generally, what is it for me? Why it doesn't work if it doesn't work? How to create real working one. It will give you some insights. And also we will talk about people who think that there is no possibility they can create support system. These people would sound like, oh my god, I have such a bad character. My parents don't like me, my husband, I don't have husband, I don't have wife, I don't have anybody, I don't have children, I live alone, leave me alone. I don't want to have support system, and support system, nobody doesn't like me. And for example, this person could ask, can I get sober at all? Or can I get over my depression at all if I don't have any support system? I use here the method of psychodrama. It looks a little bit differently when I work individually or with the groups, but it gives you an idea how does it work, because here I am taking the roles only by myself. In the groups, of course, or in work individually, I am not taking the roles. You are taking the roles. I do occasionally. What did we do in first part? I will just a short reminder. We watched the Margaret's case. We saw what happens if the support system is not organized properly. We saw how close ones feel when they are overwhelmed with the situation, that they have to help, that they have to be support system, if they have to take this role. And that's what very often happens, mostly with codependent people. We gave the definition for support system. We understood that the foundation is to understand that what do I need the support system for? Not I need the support system to support me, but very clearly what is it for, support in what situation, and what do I want as a what is my general goal there. Then we figured out that afterwards we understand the global goal. What do I need for support system? Then we need to create the list of potential triggers, problems, fears, when potentially I would need this support system. I would need this help, I would need these people. This is another list. And then we, as I told, we can use the role of human resource manager who is hiring people. So we see the list of the problems, so we see what do we need people for, and then we understand from our social connections who would match these roles. If I'm suicidal, then whom do I need? Do I need my mother, who will be, oh my God, or I need my therapist or hotline to call, and have it in the list, the phone number of that. Also, I showed you two different versions of support, mostly with the depressive state, how does look like healthy way of support if person is depressed, and how does look the codependent way of support. And also we figured out that if we take our close ones, our husbands, our wives, into mothers and fathers into our support system, we need to think about that clearly many times. What is it for? We need to have people who can see objectively the situation. And if we still have them in our support system, we need to have straight rules and agreements with those people. First, these people need to know that they are in your support system. You need to understand their limits. They can say about their limits. So these all need to be discussed. Honestly, with everybody in your support system, people, it would be wonderful if you let them know that they are in your support system. Finally, let's talk about actual list. The piece of paper where you write down all your contacts, your support system. It's better, by the way, everything what is important for you to mostly about your mental health, please write down it with your hands. Do not do it on your computer, because through small movements you get your information in your brain and your body just remembers everything. With this, actually, so many videos on how to divide it on 4 parts, or, organize your list how you want. The main idea of this list, it needs to be very simple. It needs to be visually, like you can remember the image. You look once or twice and you can already have the image in your head. And it needs to be clear. This is the situation, this is whom I call in this situation. Let's take again, if I'm suicidal, it's not like you have 10 names and then you are looking there and thinking, oh, whom is better to call? My aunt, my mother, or probably mother would not answer the phone, aunt is going to be busy, my friend going to be, no. With suicidal ideations, of course, it needs to be their hotline, and if you have the issue right now, that's where you need to call. Again, if you have cravings, it's kind of urgent situation. There need to be 1 or 2, 3 phone numbers, and prioritize them. Who is first, who is second, who is third. Not like when you have urgent situation, you are looking there and like, oh, whom is better to call. You don't need to create this extra anxiety and extra thinking process in your head. If you are calling at night, do it prior the situation. If you have the tendency, when you are working on your list, that it could be happen the situation, you will need to have the call at night. Then put in your list that phone numbers which would work at night and would not look weird. Hotlines, always, hotlines 24/7. Check it before and have these phone numbers in your list. Hotlines work very good in urgent situations. Having your therapist is great, but usually therapist or counselor in urgent situations, they cannot answer their phones. Usually people return your phone calls in 24 hours. In urgent situation, it's important to think about who is going to be, what organizations, what people can answer. And again, think many times if you are putting there your friends, Friends usually would agree, oh, yes, I will answer your phone number. Yes, of course, call me anytime you need. But think about objectively, who would be more helpful in this situation? Your sleepy friend who doesn't understand even like, what? Do you need me? You need somebody who really objectively can help you. My idea is putting their hotlines, at least 1 or 2 phone numbers. Next moment, which is important to understand about support system. You need this external support system until you're weak and you do not feel strong enough to cope with things by yourself. This is the main idea. It's like your crutches working right now, like if you need this support to hold you while you are not strong enough to work with everything by yourself. These people from outside, how they support, really they represent for you what's supposed to be happening in your head. So, and it's visually, it's just showing as a movie. You know, when you are watching the movie, you think, oh, I would like something like this happening in my life. It's kind of the same. So these people support you there, like later the support would be here. With psychodrama, when you are putting all people in the roles, everything what's happening here, when you put on the stage and people start to play there, all your feelings, all your emotions, all your inner conflict, this is the same with support system. So these people represent what's supposed to be happening here. These strong figures supposed to be right here. What does that mean? We know from the practice, we know from the experience. For example, alcoholic, when a person stops drinking, yes, he uses usually first 1, 2, 3 years. Not too many people are going to the groups for the whole life. Yeah, there are some people, but they need maximum support they need in the beginning. And then when they are able to build this support and the support moves inside, they are able to build this support inside. That's what happens. What does that mean? While you are using this external support, it's important for you to pay attention for your inner world, to build this inner support system. How? To work on, spend your resources. Usually resources means time, sometimes money, to work on your issues. You are depressed? It means it's just amount of your personal work. If you are depressed, you cannot handle. It's just amount of work for you. Yes, you can overcome your depression. It is just amount of work. Yes, sometimes it takes a lot of work. Sometimes it takes decades. But it is what it is. The same with addiction, with any other issues when you need support system. While you are using external support system, at that moment you are working on your inner issues. Addiction, working on addiction. Depression, working on depression. What is the most important here when you are working on building your inner support system? Just do it regularly. What do I mean regularly? It's not going to the good representation of that. You can't build good physical shape by going to the gym once a month or walking once a month 10 miles. No, it's regular work each day. If you want to changes, it is only one way how you can create. Also with the support system and how you create the main idea here to create strong support system inside. Working on that regularly, working on your issues regularly until you will not feel strong inside. And this will happen if you spend time, money, time, resources. If you spend resources on that, sooner or later the result will come. There is no other ways. And just check marks when you are working on your inner support system. Mark for yourself, how is my inner condition changing? How I was 1 month before, how I was 2 months before, how I was 3 months, and right now. Journals are good. if you are doing in right direction, you would feel stronger and stronger and stronger. The same like you are going to the gym. Each day you are feeling stronger, stronger and stronger. This is also very important. When you are weak and you are looking for this external support system, it is very important to accept, just mentally understand, no, I cannot deal with that by myself. It is important at that moment, just take it honestly, do this inner dialogue. Can I handle that? No. It's better to have more support than less. Yes, I cannot handle that. I need support system. I need to rely on other people. I need this social atom around me. I need people to help me. It's important to accept that. I cannot handle that by myself. Don't worry, it all will come. You will become strong if you work in correct direction. With this working on inner support system, it's important to mark also, oh, what changed inside me in last half year? What changed? I'll show you how would inner support system look like. I'll take the role of Margaret. This will be 5 years later. So she's 5 years sober and 5 years in recovery, and let's see what's going on. Okay, guys, I would like to share with you what happened with me. So I used to rely a lot on my support system. Oh yes, I called a lot. That was funny. I did these calls at night and everybody would freak out and everything. But what happens right now is I still have, yes, I get depressed often. Yes, it's just my life. This is my hormonal system and my body design. Yes, I do get depressed occasionally. Sometimes I would give the calls, but very often how it works with me is like this. I'm thinking, oh God, like my inner thoughts are, oh, I feel so lonely, I feel hopeless, I feel helpless. I don't want to wake up. And then I think, who was in my support system in my list? And then I remember my pastor from my church. And then I think, so what would my pastor from my church tell me about this? And when I think I have this inner figure, my inner pastor, and again, I still have this ability to call him and to ask for help. But very often, he just comes as my image in my head. Even I even really hear his voice. And I have him like this. Margaret, you know that this is just amount of your work. It's not a problem. You can do it. You can work with your state. And you know you are going, it's always up and down, it's hills. And you know what's good? Just right now, go for a walk. Breathe. What did we see in that example? We saw that a real figure, real person, pastor from the church, turned into inner resourceful figure. Margaret doesn't even need to call him. She has this figure inside. And that's all, guys. Everybody, we all have. Don't worry, you have. It's the most important. Just train. It's just training and trying to use. We all can take these roles. We all can have these roles inside here, supportive roles. No problem. Each of you have that. That's why we are coming to next question is about those people who feel just during lifespan. Those type of people who feel that nobody supports them, they cannot have this support. It is those guys or those women who would say, Nobody supports me. I am just so grumpy and horrible person. Nobody wants to support me. These people would even say, they would tell, okay, I will do the list. But inside, they don't believe that somebody from this list would help them, because these people know they have 60 years behind. Okay, for example, I'm Jack, I'm 60 years old, and I know, you are this counselor, don't tell me that somebody will help me. I have all my life, since my elementary school, I would come there and all kids would run away from me. And I am Anna right now. I know these people because sometimes doing the groups, we even have the name for that. It's called isolate. You know, when people come into the group and nobody pick them up to be dyads or be the protagonist, the actual person who we are working with in the group. Everybody can recognize, and maybe you recognize in that person yourself. How to be with support system if you are that person. Again, we are focusing here on the inner support system. The goal here to use external turn into internal. So for you, it's just skipping the step about external. And again, with external, I would say like this. You just organize this system from people, professional people, and hotline. You always can rely on hotline people. It is something, it's not about sympathy. It's about what can work for you in this moment. If you cannot rely at this moment, if you have the cravings and you cannot rely on yourself, you need support system. Then it is just think about what would work better. Hotline, then hotline. Pastor from the church, again, good idea. Therapist, counselors, professional help. And focus to work on your inner support system, work out on your life, what was going on, what's happening, and build your inner support system. What also, in the end, I would like to say is in that list with support system, please put all your resources, just resources what you can rely on. I mean, resources as a mental supportive figure. If it is your grandma which passed away 5 years ago, put it all there. Bible, Bhagavad Gita, all your spirituals, ancient scripts, spiritual leader which you never had discussion with, but for example, you watching his videos. Any resources, just put into your list as a referral, as a reference in your head when you have difficult situation, when you can think of. I also, you know, when you work with more and more, you work with this inner support system structure, then you can even rely on the images, you know, when you can see yourself as an image surrounded with your grandma, here is spiritual leader, here is Bible, here is your pastor from your church, here is that wonderful singer who is inspiring you. You know, when you see yourself and what these people, and you are depressed right now, and if you imagine, so if you ask each of these people from your support system, ask them, so what they would tell you right now when you are depressed, when you do not want to wake up. Just create this inner dialogue with each of these resourceful figures. And with Bible, you can talk with Bible. Okay, I'm depressed. What Bible would say about my depressive state? For example, Bible would say, your goal of your life is not depression. The goal of your life is love. For example, you do inner dialogue, you do inner role reversal with all your resourceful figures. Another thing which is important for me to say, I am for holistic approach. We cannot focus just on support system. If we call something system, then it means it should work as a system. It has different components. In these components, if you are taking care of yourself, if you wanna get sober, if you wanna work on depression, anxiety, or any mental health things, if you do not take care of your body, because body, it is your container where you contain all your emotions, your feelings, your trauma, your happiness, everything. If you do not take care of the container of the box where you hold that all, sooner or later it will collapse. If to say simply about that, building support system also means that you need to take care of physically of your body. And again, you need to do it regularly, each day. I mean, don't be surprised that you are depressed if you are not moving. And again, you are depressed and you are relying on just communication to other person, and very often just simple going outside and run is already changing everything. It's just changing right on physical level. You kind of working out your state. No matter how, start from your body. If you exclude that from the picture, it will collapse. There is no ways. You have to do that, otherwise just it would be like if something would work occasionally, that would be mostly like a miracle. First is physical. If you physically feel strong, then you physically can hold this support system inside you. You physically can create connections with people, not once a week, not once a month, each single day, as brushing your teeth, as taking shower. Summary: define very clearly for yourself, what is my support system for? What is my main direction? What's my goal? Next step is define what are the situations when I need support. That was in first part. We talked about fears, we talked about triggers. Put that all on the list. Then write down actual list of your support system. We talked about that today in this part. Focus on developing your inner support system, moving external, inside. Timely understand that I do need support. Have this inner question: is it enough for me or not? Do I feel tension? These all are symptoms. If I'm frustrated, if I'm depressed, it's not normal state. If all the time I'm angry, all these emotions are signaling you. I mean, it's all right to occasionally have these emotions, but if you all the time you are depressed, of course it is the symptom that you need to do something. I do need support, I do need help. If I'm anxious all the time, then what does it mean? Do I need to decrease my support or increase my support? Nobody from your support system can understand better than you what do you need. It is important for you to turn around 180 degrees to yourself, to your inner world, and understand what are your needs. I work in Monterey, I work individually and I do groups. If you live distantly, don't hesitate and connect me through the website. I work online. Thank you for watching. See you in next video. Namaste.